Bayern is facing a huge problem with having no manager till next season. We as fans don't know what's going on with our club. Should it be Rangnick, De Zerbi, Zidane? Heck, even just keep it Tuchel. We don't really know what's ahead of us. But let's dissect this new managerial crisis. Before we go any further, can we talk about my hair though? Like, god damn, I got that retwist. Like, hey, like, shit, we dangerous in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let me do a 360 real quick for the hair, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, aha. And I say like, hey, we outside, baby. We outside, baby. Hey. You know, Bayern has never had an issue with replacing managers in general. Typically, Bayern has brought well-known managers such as Louis van Gaal, Pep Guardiola, heck, even Tuchel could be said as a well-known coach. Bayern have had a bunch of managers in a short space of time and never been blessed with a manager staying typically longer than 4 to 5 years. And our longest one being with 6, he is also one of our most successful managers, Ottmar Hitzfeld. Sorry to the German people, I don't really know how to say his name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. The manager market is quite empty, and other clubs are also trying to replace their own managers, such as Liverpool, who is losing the second greatest manager this generation of managers, after Pep, of course, which is Klopp, who is also potentially losing out on every trophy this season, except for the Carabao Cup, if you want to count that as a trophy, Liverpool fans. We also have Manchester United, who is quite split about the whole Ten Hag idea. And in my opinion, Ten Hag should say, #ride the storm. Anyway, we don't have a lot of options available to us right now. Seeing that the market is so dry, we could either go for a man like Ralf Rangnick, who is the godfather of gegenpress and very high press counter-oriented manager. Or we could go for De Zerbi and change him maybe to a Xabi Alonso once Xabi Alonso decides to leave his club. These two managers, De Zerbi and Ralf Rangnick, have two different mindsets when it comes to an ideal style of play. One of them is a Pep region, simply, who is all about playing possession-based football, while the other is all about pressing, switching, and countering. It seems that Bayern really don't know what direction they want to go with. Now, let's look at what the managers have done before we join us. The godfather of the gegenpress has been quite good at building clubs for the future, such as Leipzig, recently Austria, and even somewhat not sinking United any further than they were 2 seasons ago. Rangnick is a good candidate, and I wouldn't actually mind having him as a manager. Many have stated that they don't know if they would want someone who hasn't done anything major as a manager. To that I say, Pep Guardiola, who created that powerhouse of a team in Barcelona, didn't really have any experience before that either, and he won a 6-tuple with that Barcelona team, and also created the monstrous Messi, as well as creating a Manchester City dynasty. And also he created Barcelona one, of course, but he also created a Manchester City dynasty, which is quite terrifying right now, and every human in the Premier League is scared. See, now I wouldn't mind having Rangnick as my manager. I just don't know if he will have the endurance to last us a whole season after dealing with chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a long-term illness, by the way, that affects many body systems. It's normally extreme exhaustion after physical or mental exercise. You might start to have problems with memory or thinking skills. Dizziness is also something that worsens with moving from lying down or sitting to standing, which a lot of managers do. He might even start experiencing muscle or joint pains. Well, how do I know this? I'm I should know it, you know.
Call me if you need any help, by the way.
If you're enjoying my channel and my content and this video right now, what are you doing? Why have you not subscribed to this channel? What are you doing? Subscribe, lads and ladies. Subscribe. It's free. You're not paying to subscribe, bro. Just subscribe if you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, the door is that way. Wait, the door is that way, man. As a semi-expert in that medical field, I really won't know how he can manage such a huge team with all the pressure, which could also lead to eventually breaking him. That's why I also hypothesize with him going to lower level teams and building them, such as Leipzig. Once they get a little bit bigger, he changes the role more into a sporting director where there's not a lot of pressure onto you as a man. or a person. And I actually do think that Rangnick will have a lot of pressure on him, especially if Tuchel wins the Champions League, which could be a possibility. But I don't really think he would be the man for the job. As much as I think Rangnick is a risky one to go for, I definitely do not recommend De Zerbi whatsoever. He has not done anything that says to me he is ready for that kind of job. He doesn't even perform well with Brighton. Furthermore, he is very ignorant and persistent with the way he plays. He plays the same play style every game, and it even cost him games at times. I wouldn't want him anywhere near my club, me personally. You know, Zidane would also be an interesting manager to have for maybe like a year or two, but it doesn't really look realistic or right. It doesn't fit the Bayern agenda. And there's also a language barrier there, and a lot of the board members don't really want him either. If he's not going to stay there for a long time, there's no point in investing in a language classes and having someone that can translate for you mid-practice and stuff and mid-game in dressing room talks. I don't really think that is something I want to see my team go through. But I wouldn't mind, but like I said, I wouldn't mind him for like a year or two, because that's heritage right there. And who wouldn't love to be managed by one of the greatest midfielders of all time? Maybe even, you know what, how about this? The greatest midfielder of all time. Who wouldn't want that? That's a beautiful thing in itself. The question then becomes a little bit greyish, because who should Bayern really go for then? Well, the answer is simply no one, because the reason for that is Bayern can try going for someone now, but I would rather wait when the market has a lot of potential and a lot of managers available, such as Xabi Alonso. We could try and go for him in 2 seasons after next season if he decides to leave and take that big leap. And you don't really know how the market is going to be after a year. There are going to be maybe a couple sackings. You might see maybe, for instance, Ten Hag leaving, and I wouldn't mind having Ten Hag in my team. See, now, I feel like Ten Hag is a misunderstood manager. He doesn't really have the support he needs for his team to elevate to the next level. There's a lot of question of style of play, and I don't really believe that that's gonna be an issue at Bayern, because if he can revive his style of play that he had at Ajax and put it into Bayern Munich, there would be no problem. So me personally, I would stick with Tuchel, especially after what he has done. And I know it's a crazy thing to say from me, who's a very vocal Tuchel hater, but I do genuinely think that's the best option for us right now. I would rather have him and then maybe see how the market develops, because it's not really a smart thing to downgrade from Thomas Tuchel, who's like a very prestigious manager, who's also maybe potentially taking us to the final if he beats Real Madrid. Or should I say, when he beats Real Madrid. Well, anyway, that's for another video. I've been Yunus. I'll see you guys in the next video.